All right, welcome back to Hannity. On Friday, a federal judge in Illinois ruled that illegal immigrants have gun rights protected by the Second Amendment. Well, they were saying that while a ban on illegal immigrants owning guns is constitutional on its face, there is no precedent that allows the government to deprive an illegal immigrant who has never been convicted of a violent crime from owning a gun. Also tonight, a big win for the state of Texas. Now, today, the Supreme Court is now allowing the state to enforce the state of Texas and police there to arrest suspected illegal immigrants while a challenge to the law plays out in an appeals court. Here with reaction, Florida Senator Marco Rubio is back with us. Senator, great to have you as always. Let me get this straight. By the very nature of their presence in the United States, if you don't respect our laws, borders, and sovereignty, you are here illegally. Okay, you're not a citizen. You don't have constitutional rights like a U.S. citizen, do you?
Well, this is a ruling by an Obama-appointed judge, I believe. And look, what they're trying to do is blur the line between citizenship and everything else, people that are here illegally. And so that you've seen cities, for example, make an effort to allow people that are in this country illegally that aren't even citizens to vote. This is another example in this case. And you almost wonder if it's not being done to sort of mock both gun laws and also a whole understanding of the value of being a citizen of the United States of America. There has to be a distinction between citizenship and non-citizenship, between being legally here and not legally here. If there's no distinction between being here legally or illegally, and there's no distinction between being a citizen or not being a citizen, then what's the point of even having citizenship? What's the point of even having immigration laws? And this is just one more mockery that we're finding in our court system. Luckily, I expect that this is going to be appealed and overturned at some point because it's an absurd outcome.
Well, can you explain this? The New York Post had this today. Biden knows that terrorists are crossing the border, and we know we're catching people on the terror watch list, even from our northern border now, a significant number of them. Then you have tens of thousands of people coming from Russia, China, Iran, Syria, Egypt, Afghanistan. So they know terrorists are coming into the country, and Joe Biden is not only allowing it and not enforcing the law, but he's facilitating the law breaking and aiding and abetting. Now, can you explain that to me? Because I would argue it's not if, it's when one of these terror cells is going to attack this country. And maybe it'll be as significant as 9/11 or maybe worse. And if that day comes and he allowed that to happen, he will have that blood on his hands.
Yeah, first of all, it's inevitable that something horrific will happen in this country as a result of our open border. It's only a matter of time. I would say a couple things. That I wouldn't focus too much on the terror watch list because that's not a comprehensive list. That's just a list of people we know are wanted for links to terrorism. But it is not. There's trafficking networks that operate all over the world. Okay, so we know that there are trafficking networks with ties to ISIS and Al-Qaeda and others who, as a business, as a way to generate money, they move migrants to the United States. Now, you're telling me that they own this business, they move people across the border who are not terrorists, and they're not willing to move some of their own into this country? Of course they do. It's just common sense and it's logical that if you're a terrorist, you're trying to get into America in order to conduct an attack, you know that you can do it by simply crossing the border, and you can do it with fake documents and passports that you can buy. And there's no way we can verify that. You can't call some of these places and verify if that person's really who they say they are. And it's actually a real document. It's not really the person, but it's a real document that they bribe someone to produce from them. So I think the danger, they're playing with fire here. It's only a matter of time before something terrible happens. And you ask me, why are they doing this? Because there is an element of the Democratic Party that believes in open borders. They do not believe that. They believe people should be allowed to live anywhere in the world they want to live. That's what they believe, and that no country should be able to prevent people from coming in and out as they please. They believe these things. Some of them even admit that they believe these things. And that's a big part of the Democratic base. And he's afraid to lose their support. He's already lost the pro-Hamas people, and now he's afraid to lose these guys.
Well, and what was the result of that? The result of that was in the middle of a war, our chief ally, Israel, thrown down the stairs. In the middle of a war, they are now calling for elections in Israel to now make what is a fight for their survival even that much more harder politically. I can't even fathom a lack of a loyalty and friendship. They stood by us after 9/11. All they are looking for is us to stand by them and support them in their right to win their war on terror. Senator, you know a lot more about TikTok than I do. You have seen a lot more intelligence than I have seen on the issue of TikTok. I listen very closely when people like you and Josh Hawley and some others talk about TikTok and it being a spying mechanism of the Communist Chinese. I believe you when you say it. I would not have a problem if Elon Musk or Larry Ellison, whoever, an American or somebody that would remove those spy applications from that site, if they were to buy that from the Communist Chinese that only own a part of it. What makes you so convinced it's a spy mechanism, and why is it imperative that the American people understand this?
Well, TikTok is not the issue. TikTok is a company. It's a social media app. That app is powered by an algorithm that picks the videos you see. It literally reads your mind, and it knows what you like before you even know you like it. It picks the videos. It drives the content. It's the golden goose of the whole operation. That's owned by a company named ByteDance. That company, ByteDance, is a Chinese company. I don't care who's on the board of directors. I don't care who their shareholders are. Every company in China has to comply with the 2017 National Security Law of China. And that law says you must give us the data, and you must do with your algorithm whatever we tell you to do. And if the Chinese Communist Party goes to ByteDance and says, we want you to change the TikTok algorithm so that Americans will not be willing to defend Taiwan or surrender to China on this and that, or poison the minds of young Americans over a long period of time so that their society crumbles, if they tell them that they have to do that, ByteDance will have to do that. They will do that, and you will not be able to perceive it. You will not. So it doesn't even matter where you store the data, because those engineers at ByteDance have to have access to that data in order for the algorithm to work. And so what I support is saying TikTok can continue. It just can't be owned by ByteDance. ByteDance has to be sold to a company that's not in China and not subject to the national security laws of China. That's what we're trying to achieve here.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.